Boys and girls, welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Starting From Scratch podcast with your host, me, John Kleisch. If this is your first time tuning in, I really appreciate you giving me a listen. This is what you're going to be in store for. I am documenting my journey from zero commercial real estate experience and $0 of commercial real estate owned all the way up until today, which is February 11th, 2026. And I've been in commercial real estate about 7 months now. And now I own somewhere in the ballpark of about $2.5 million worth of commercial real estate in the form of two buildings. One is an industrial building that is mostly a body shop, mechanics. And the other one is an office building. One is in Glendale, Arizona, and the other one is in Sun City, Arizona. I am based out of Phoenix, Arizona, in case you guys were wondering. And I am just documenting everything from how I'm getting these things, how I got into commercial real estate, and all the problems and issues that I am having. I am trying to make this very raw and authentic and not really fluffing it up, giving you guys the dirty, the good, and the bad. Mostly bad, of course, but I feel like it'd be cool for anyone that's looking to get into commercial real estate or just entertainment value to watch me suffer. And suffering I am indeed, which if you can tell already, my voice is not the best. I am very, very sick. It was hard to do anything today. Something's been going around in my house for the last couple of weeks, and with 4 kids, it's nearly impossible to avoid it. So here I am struggling. If I sneeze, deal with it. I'm the one in pain. It's been a really busy week. This should be a short podcast because I touched on a lot of it last week about the eviction. That has been what has been consuming my life for the last week. Not only the eviction, but also I have been advertising the spot for lease. So I have exclusively used Facebook Marketplace in the past with good results, and I have done that again and again. The results are coming in with lots of leads. Not all good, of course, right? Facebook, a lot of tire kickers, just in general. However, I have figured out a process on how to whittle those down and how to see who the tire kickers are and who the real deals are, whoever that is going to be. So I would say I got about 20 contacts overall, and that led to 3 really interested parties. What we are doing now is trying to rent it out by the bay. I have one gentleman that reached out that does want the whole space, so he will get first dibs. He is going to be my first one that I call once the spot is vacant, and he will walk it and see if he likes it or not. So I like that. That was good. If not, I got some other people backed up. We might rent out the 2 indoor spots to like a whole shop that's like 3,000 square feet, and then maybe the outdoor bays I could lease up individually. That is TBD at the moment because I'm still dealing with the eviction. So what have I done this week? I delivered the 72-hour notice to vacate or pay. It's really simple. That's exactly what it means. And let me even take a step back. Last time I was going over all of the different options and different scenarios and how commercial leases work. And this was just hearsay. I wasn't confirmed on all of this. I reached out to a gentleman that I know who is a big-time commercial guy. I believe he owns 40 commercial properties here in Phoenix. He is a gentleman that I have been to one of his events when I first got into real estate. We chatted it up a little bit. We exchanged phone numbers. Nothing really came of it. Seen each other at a couple different events. He was doing commercial. I was doing exclusively single family, so just kind of staying in my lane. He's been following along on my journey on Instagram, which all of you should too, john.kleisch, Kleisch on Instagram. And I messaged him. I was like, hey, shout out John Troutman. You're the man, dude. Really appreciate your help. You've been amazing so far and very gracious with your time, which is excellent. I wish there was more people like you on earth. I owe you, and I will hopefully be able to pay you back in short order. So I messaged him. I said, hey, I got to do an eviction. He said, hey, call me. Called him, chatted 10, 15 minutes, went over the drill, and I was spot on. There's no need to go through eviction court, no need to go through the constable, none of that. It's in our lease, it's commercial. We can just do whatever we want according to the lease. We have a very aggressive lease in place. So, didn't even need to do this 72-hour notice. I just wanted to, not as a courtesy, but let this tenant know, hey, this is it, dude. This is where the buck stops. Now, I know he's not going to pay. He still thinks he's going to pay. And what's funny, I guess, not funny, but this was very, very expected. If there's anyone out there that has done an eviction or dealt with a problem tenant, a problem employee or whatever, right? You give them the benefit of the doubt. They take advantage. You give them more benefit of the doubt. You give them another break. They take advantage. And then finally, enough's enough. You pull the rug. And do you think that all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, John, you know what? You're right. I am an idiot. I am a loser. And I am a piece of shit. No, never. It's the quite opposite. Now he's starting to get pretty angry with me. Whatever. So, to be expected. Now, after dealing with this gentleman for the last 5-6 months, I am fully expecting him to be there when we go do the eviction. I am fully expecting him to be working on cars and not moving out, which is what I would prefer at this point. And I expect him to be very upset. Because at that point in time, when I show up to do this eviction, I'm bringing my contractor to lock everything up and to secure everything. And we hired private security. And just for our safety, just in case anything goes crazy, right? We're locking someone out of their business and taking all of their shit. So I imagine tensions are going to get high. And like I just mentioned, I'm assuming the tenant isn't expecting this to happen, which is just absolutely wild and crazy. However, I really do think he is going to get caught by surprise. He is going to continue to be working there over the weekend. And when we show up, I am not expecting it to go very well. Hence the private security. I called Glendale PD. They didn't want anything to do with it. They wanted to put it in front of the constable. And the constable's like, dude, we don't even deal with this stuff. Like, go figure it out. Cool. Figured it out. With all of his stuff now, that has been the big problem. All of his stuff left behind. This is where I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do, is talking with my partners about it. Now, I know that he's got so much stuff here. I'm talking 20, 30 cars, tools, parts, etc., etc. I would love it if he took everything out and just left the place an empty box. I know that's not going to happen. I even want him to take his valuable stuff. The stuff that I want left behind is just easy stuff that I can just get a dumpster, get a backhoe, excavator with a claw hook, whatever, a grabber hook, and just dump it all, get it out. But I know that's not going to happen. There's going to be customer cars that are left behind. We're going to need to run the VINs, call the customers. They're going to need to reach out to their insurance. There's also a gentleman who was in this property, leasing this property for the last 15 years. He is subleasing it from my current tenant. I still do not know what I'm going to do with him. I am going to leave it up to that individual. He did not treat me very nice through my due diligence, and he gave me a very, very hard time. So I'm not going to be bitter towards him, but I am going to keep him on a very, very, very short leash, just as anyone else now. This gentleman has ruined the future leniency on tenants moving forward, which is maybe a good thing. I'm glad that kind of happened up front, right? So I've got a saying. I knew this guy right off the bat. I was ready to evict him month one. Maybe not month one, but month two. I was ready to evict him. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. He's a duck. So, knowing that, if this gentleman here gives me any iota of being shitty, he can get out, and I'm going to take all of his stuff too. So, as you can tell, I think on the last episode as well, my patience is at an all-time low with this funny business. So, I know I'm a really nice guy. I know it. I've been living with myself for the last 39 years. I have been taken advantage of way more often than a human should. And I'm still okay with that because I enjoy giving people benefit of the doubt. I enjoy being nice, and I don't want anyone to think that I gave them a fair shake. In fact, I'll give you lots of money to go out in the world and find anyone that says they got rolled over by me. That's a guarantee. I promise that. So he's gotten treated way better than anyone else probably would have treated him. So it's completely up to him. If he wants to stay and he's nice and not an asshole, he can stay and he'll rent out a couple bays. I'll give him a fair rate just because I know he's a good tenant outside of his personality. But he will pay every month, and he has paid every month. So that is TBD. But at the end of the day, right now, we're just hanging out, waiting. He's got until Friday at 2:05 p.m. to get caught up on rent, which is $15,500. And that's not even including any late fees or anything. I don't know why we didn't calculate that. Probably because we were all assuming he's not going to pay. And I still don't think he is going to pay. So that eviction will be happening shortly after that. It will be happening before the next podcast. So the next one should be really entertaining because I'm expecting to hear some stories, or to give you guys some stories about what unfolded here during that eviction. And again, I think I lightly touched on this. We were not sure if we wanted to let him back on the property to come grab his stuff in the future. He is definitely not going to be allowed on the property. However, if he wanted to send a tow truck with our blessing and someone else came and picked it up, that might be a real possibility. However, John Troutman, shout out again, you the man, gave me really good advice of, hey, John, I've done this. I've been through this. It's very easy to get bitter. Just get that guy's stuff out of there as soon as possible and move on, right? Like, don't be trying to drive it home and, what's the principal thing? He's like, just whatever you can do to get all of that stuff out as soon as possible, do it. Don't even try to sell it, whatever, and I think that is great advice because it is very tough to not get bitter and trying to recoup that money, but it might take me 2 months of work to maybe even a month, even if it is a month of a couple hours a week, 5-10 hours a week of trying to deal with all of this stuff just to go make 15 grand when I can go spend that time leasing it out and spending time trying to find a new tenant. So I like it. Got a really good plan in place. I would say I'm not excited about doing this. However, I am looking forward to it for sure because this gentleman has caused me a lot of pain, a lot of sleepless nights, and a lot of stress that is undeservedly so. And not that I'm looking forward to like sticking it to him. I'm just looking forward to getting him out of my life and to be done with this guy and never hear his name, never whisper his name, never see his name pop up on my phone, and hopefully never see him in person again. This is a gentleman that I no longer want anything to do with, obviously. So that is really what I'm excited about, to be on to the next chapter, get this property properly cash flowing. That way, once I get some new tenants in there, I can get you a new valuation of both buildings. And hopefully this one should be closer to $2 million right in the short order of the next couple months. I am expecting it's going to take a couple months to get it filled up by the bay. However, we don't know. That'll be some good episodes on the leasing in the future. But I feel like Dick. This is where I'm going to end it. Boys and girls, I feel like this, the point got driven home. An exciting couple days here in the future, and I will have a lot more information to report. Now, if you enjoyed this podcast or even if you hated it, but you know somebody that would enjoy this podcast, do me a favor and share it with them. I am terrible at promoting this podcast. I do not tell anyone. I have many friends. Shout out Colin Murphy that found out that I just started a podcast last week, 2 weeks ago, and this is like my 4th month on it. So appreciate you, Colin, listening. I saw the episodes that you downloaded on the back end. He lives in Madrid, so easy to know who that was. Also, side note, the only continent that we have not had a single download in is South America. Is that a continent? I think so. South America, North America? Yeah, probably. I did not do well in school. Either way, we got them in Australia, Asia, Russia, well, whatever the heck that is, what all the other continents are, right? Whatever. Just South America, 0, which is weird. I wonder why. Either way, if you did like this podcast, or even if you didn't, again, leave me a review. Please, I'd love to hear the feedback and hear what you guys think of it. I would like to know kind of where, to take it, if there's things that are interesting to you guys or not interesting to you guys. It's funny, the episodes that I think are going to do really well don't do that well, and the ones that I just kind of throw together do really well. But there's not too much of a discrepancy overall, just something that I've noticed. Either way, again, follow me on Instagram, john.kleisch, john.kleisch. I'm posting updates and videos and pictures and movies on updates on everything that I am working on, past, present, and future. And then message me too if you have any questions or want to reach out. I would love to chat with you guys. So on that note, boys and girls, episode 23 is in the books. Looking forward to the next one. Tune in next time to see if there is any violence and interesting things that happen in this eviction. So fingers crossed it doesn't, and we get out smooth and easy. But on that note, we're out of here. Take her easy.